The airlines were the perfect delivery system.
Carnival cruise vessel Dream has been given permission to join. 27 knots south and closing.
How soon are they showing symptoms after contact?
The provisional government currently considers northern Minnesota to be potential.
Have you recorded any instance where a person was bitten but not infected? How the hell do I know if Russia's fallen? Sir, I cannot action that order. Colonel, I'm sorry, but we cannot facilitate an evacuation for you or your men. Sir, there is nowhere to evacuate you to.
Malnutrition, dirty water, no gas for the winter or transportation, no bullets to fight. It has spread to all corners of the globe.
The question that we've got to address is, what the hell is it?
About 5% of the population aren't affected
It is
immediately.
viral. It has to be viral. There is no plausible alternative. And like any virus, once we find its origin, we can develop a vaccine.
That's Dr. Fassbach, virologist from Harvard.
The analogy I keep coming back to is Spanish flu.
Spanish flu?
It didn't exist in 1918, but by 1920, it killed 3% of the world.
He's our best bet at figuring out what this thing is.
You all read the same email I did. It said zombies.
The problem with most people is that they don't believe something can happen until it already has. It's not stupidity or weakness. It's just human nature.
How did you know?
Gerald Lane wrote a self-defeating Jeremiah about his employer, the UN, back in 2010. Caused a few ripples, sidelined your career. Thought you'd have parlayed those ripples into a self-righteous book.
No knows for profit. How did Israel know?
We intercepted a communique from an Indian general saying they were fighting the Rakshasa. Translation, zombies. Technically, undead.
Jürgen Warmbraum, high-ranking official in the Mossad, described as sober, efficient, not terribly imaginative. And yet, you build a wall because you read a communique that mentions the word zombie?
Well, put like that, I'd be skeptical as well. In the 30s, Jews refused to believe they could be sent to concentration camps. In 72, we refused to fathom we'd be massacred in the Olympics. In the month before October 1973, we saw Arab troop movements, and we unanimously agreed they didn't pose a threat. Well, a month later, the Arab attack almost drove us into the sea. So we decided to make a change.
Change.
The 10th man. If 9 of us look at the same information and arrive at the exact same conclusion, it's the duty of the 10th man to disagree. No matter how improbable it may seem, the 10th man has to start digging with the assumption that the other 9 are wrong.
And you were the 10th man?
Precisely.
And trust me when I tell you, they're not safe.
I understand how you feel.
Do you?
Yes.
Yes. You have a family?
No.
No. Then you couldn't possibly understand, could you?
I lost my son and wife in Rome. Rather, I lost my son to something that had once been my wife. Well, we have all lost someone, Mr. Lane. In your case, there is hope, at least.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Now, why did you come here? What do you need from us?
Your worst disease.
He wants a what?
Deadly pathogen with a high mortality rate, but curable.
Okay, well, you'd want a bacteria rather than a virus, I would think. Typhus?
Meningitis, scarlet fever.
Rocky Mountain fever?
Anyway, excuse me. What's this for?
Mr. Lane believes we can use such a disease against the undead.
Well, it would give you points for originality, Mr. Lane, if we hadn't already tried that first thing. One of the many things a virus What bacteria needs to thrive is a live host.
Functioning circulatory system.
I'm afraid it boils down to one simple fact.
Can't make a dead person sick.
It's not for them. It's for us. I believe these things have a weakness. And that weakness is weakness. It's our weakness.